we'll be recording and have this available on our city website. And I'll go through like where to look on our city webpage when we get started. Okay, so I do have PowerPoint I will be sharing.
Do you want them to put their name and agency in the chat?
Yes, if you can please put your name and agency in the chat. Everybody has the chat available, correct? And we can introduce everyone and kind of get the ball rolling. So if we have any questions, we can review those at the very end.
Thank you. You just come just in the chat.
All right. So welcome everybody to the City of Gaithersburg FY25. We got Youth Prosperity and Community Service Grants programs. Everybody can hear me okay? Thumbs up. Lori, I'm looking at you because you're the only one I can see. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Some people may not have mute on. There's a little staticky stuff, but other than that, it's fine.
I think it's Maureen.
I went out. I'm sorry, it was me.
It's okay. Okay, so to our current grantees, former grantees, new faces, welcome. I did want to start off by saying thank you. We all know that working in the nonprofit world, it is very much a thankless job. So I'd like to start off all of my meetings by just giving kudos where kudos is due. Thank you for all that you do for City of Gaithersburg residents, working as a team with community services and always being available when we need you. You are kind of the lifeline to communities that are in need, and we can't thank you enough, and we cannot do what we do without you. So thank you for being here. I hope we create new partnerships. I hope we have lasting partnerships. And let's get the ball rolling. Okay, so today we're going to have a little bit of a history lesson on the Community Services Division, and then we're going to jump right into grants. If you're new to this community, looking for grants, we do have one big pot of grant money that is separated into two pots, our community service grants as well as our youth grants. So we're going to have an overview of that. And then we'll go into the application process, important dates that you need to know, and then next steps. So I would be remiss if I didn't introduce our fearless leader at Community Services, Maureen Herndon. She'll have an announcement to make at the end of the training, so please make sure that you stick around for the entire thing. But if you are new and you don't know where Community Services is located, we are actually in the Wells Robertson House. This is the mansion house right across the parking lot from City Hall. We're in the rear of the building. We actually share our offices with homeless services. And we are right in the back. They did just tear down our shed, so you should come and see it. Come and visit.
Easier to get to our door.
Easier to get to the door. If you have clients who are in need of wraparound case management services, if you have clients who are in need of looking for information about our Financial Empowerment Center, if your organization is looking to expand and throw an event and you need services, please come our way. I did just kind of give an overview of my coworkers. Geraldine Bernito is our bilingual case manager. Leslie McDonald, who's with us today, is our program manager for our Financial Empowerment Center. I'm going to get into the Financial Empowerment Center in a minute. And then Nancy Lazow is our program coordinator, and she manages all of our outreach events, as well as plans in-house events that we have for community services. So if you need any of that, please come our way. We're always available. Remember, we're just in the rear of Wells Robertson. I did want to take this opportunity to show everybody the website. Can everybody see my web page? Or do I have to stop share and reshare? Lori, I'm looking at you again.
I don't see it. We don't see it.
Yeah, you have to reshare, Mary.
No, I saw it. Oh, sorry.
Okay, can everybody see the community services webpage?
It looks the same as your agenda. That's
Yes, yes, yes.
So when I scroll down here and we're looking to get to the grants page, you can click here in related areas, collaborative and youth grant opportunities, or you can keep scrolling down and you can get it here, collaborative and youth grant opportunities. So this is where on January 22nd, the applications will be available. This page kind of gives an overview of our grants history. It gives the timeline, which we'll be going through in this training today, our youth prosperity grants, as well as our community service grants. And then at the bottom here is where the links will be for the applications. If you filled out a grant application last year, it does look different. We moved away from the portal system and now we just use a form system. So it'll just be a link to the form site website. And that is where you will fill out the grant application from that setting. All right, moving on. Eligibility for grant funding. The city currently only offers grant opportunities for 509A1 or 501c3 nonprofit organizations. I did kind of want to give everybody an overview of who we currently fund. Sorry, this is a lot of share screen. We do, like I said before, we do have about $1 million in grant monies. A little over $1 million. And about almost 800,000 of that is dedicated for our community service grants, and about 300,000 of that is designated for our youth enrichment grants. Our community service grants are collaboration grants. So if you're looking to apply for a community service grant, be ready to partner, be ready to reach out to the current lead organization on these scopes, which are the bolded organizations at the top of each scope of service, and be ready to partner. No one organization can meet the whole scope of service itself. If you can, fantastic, great, you should apply. But typically no one organization can meet that whole standard. And so it took away competition. It brought in teamwork, it brought in much better communication. And so we really like our collaboration grants. We're looking to keep our collaboration grants. Our committee likes these. And we'll get into like the nitty gritty in a little bit of our community service grants. And then of course we have our youth enrichment grants. So these were renamed this year to youth prosperity grants. They were school-based nonprofit grants. It's a little wordy. And the committee met earlier this year and we decided to make a shift, and I'll get into that a little bit later too.
Mary, can I add one quick thing on the collaboration grants?
Of course.
Mary's absolutely right. If you're interested in joining, excuse me, and community service collaboration, we always recommend talking to us and talking to the present leads. However, if you have a group of new agencies that we may not know about that can address the full scope, you're welcome to set up your own collaborative application as well.
And I did want to show everyone, sorry, I'm gonna stop share one more time. Share this. These are our 10% city schools this year for our youth organizations. So if you are new and looking to apply for a youth prosperity grant, the rule is that you have to have a memorandum of understanding with a 10% city school or a city school that has 150 or more city residents. And this is our list of 10% city schools. We have about 22 schools. And again, all of this information is located on the grants webpage in the documents box. So all of this information is already on the website. The only thing that isn't available currently is the application, which will be available next Wednesday, January 22nd. Stop share one more time. Okay. And the committees did also decide for our community service grants, they will be contracted for 1 year with a 1-year option, depending on reporting and budget. And then our youth prosperity grants will again only be for the contracted year. Next slide. Okay, so our community service grants. Basically, like I said before, we do have about $1 million. The grant pot is broken up into our community service grants as well as our youth prosperity grants. Each of these grant pots is overseen by a civilian committee. So our community service grants are overseen by the Community Advisory Committee, and then our youth enrichment grants are overseen by the Educational Enrichment Committee. So when you're filling out your application, these are the people who review your application and ultimately recommend funding to mayor and city council. Do you want to go over anything else with this? This is a quick slide. Okay. So, not this. We'll keep going.
Okay.
Okay. So what the Community Advisory Committee does is we meet monthly and we discuss what we're seeing in currently funded organizations' reports. We're discussing what committee members are hearing from the community. We're discussing feedback we're getting from survey reports given to the community, and we're trying to decide where we want these priority areas for money to go. And for the past couple of years since COVID, it has been specifically these 7 strategic priority areas: food and nutrition assistance, which is huge right now, health and mental health assistance, housing stabilization for homeless, vocational coaching, which has always been a big one, housing preservation services, or services that keep individuals who are in their home, who are on the verge of losing their homes to eviction or foreclosure, and education services, services for seniors and adults with disabilities, and then mental health services for youth. So these are the big main areas. I am going to click on this because I have another link. Stop share. Share.
The other thing that we do a lot of work on is trying to research what is out there already, either through nonprofits or Montgomery County or the state, to ensure that city money is truly being used to bridge a gap or enhance a program for city residents. So that's part of what the committee and staff work on in between grant releases as well.
So this grant solicitation, attachment A, is available on our website. If you're looking to apply for a community service grants, you would pick which scope of service you would like to apply to. If your organization does more than one scope, say your organization does food services as well as homeless services, you're more than welcome to apply. Again, we highly recommend reaching out to the current lead organization to see if you can get in on the collaboration for the grant, and get your name on that. But no one organization can meet this entire scope. Some scopes are bigger than others, and depending on what it is, our health and mental health assistance tend to be the biggest scope. But if your organization can do it all, you're more than welcome to apply for the entire thing. But again, this document is available on our website. It goes over specifically what our committee members on the Community Advisory Committee are asking for, what they're hearing from the community. And this all needs to be easily read on your application, who is doing what, when you're going to be doing it. Clear and concise is what the committee members want to see. All right. And again, this is available on the website. I'll share.
Yeah, make sure you read the scopes carefully. We did tweak a few items in a few scopes, so don't assume it's exactly the same as previous years. Take a good look at it and call us with questions.
Okay, do we have any questions on community service grants? Okay, so we're gonna move to our youth prosperity grants. Did I skip? Okay. So earlier this year, our educational enrichment committee, who is responsible for our youth determinations, met and discussed that, you know, since the beginning of COVID, we really haven't changed our overall focus area. We really haven't shifted our mission, even though the times have changed significantly, even though our community looks so much different. And so a committee member brought up this idea of following this whole child vision program, which it comes out of the Science of Learning and Development Alliance. And what they discovered was that rather than looking at programs and their specific focus area, how does a program affect the overall whole child development? And this is specifically geared for schools, but what they discovered was that this could also fall under programming, after school programming, enrichment programming, social programming. How do these programs really affect the whole child processes? And so what the committee is looking for, rather than a focus area, they're now looking at areas of emphasis. How does your program promote rich learning experiences? How does your program establish integrated support systems? And so you'll see on the application that they do ask, you know, what is your focus area? But now you're able to pick more than one. And then underneath that will be an open question, open-ended question area where you can really hone in on the area of emphasis and how your organization affects that whole child development. So it is a big switch up. I like this more because it allows for a more broad understanding of organizations and allows for new programs to come in. So really think about that, think about your answer. And if you have any questions on this, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. All right.
I think we're good.
Okay. So any questions about youth prosperity grants? I'm going to jump right in. We have our program timeline with important dates. We're going to go over the budget sheets for each grant pot, and then we'll open it up for further questions if anybody has any. Okay, so January 22nd, our applications open. Those will be available on the website. Knowing me, I'm going to email everybody too, just so everybody has it. Everybody who joined here, as well as grantees, I'll send you the links to the applications. In between then, I open this early because normally it's open February 1st, but I'm giving everybody an extra 2 weeks. So between January 22nd and March 1st, when applications are due, I am available for any questions that you have. If you need clarification, if you need help getting in contact with the school, if you need help finding another collaborator to get on your community service grant who provides eyeglasses services, you can reach out to me and I will try and help and make those connections. Applications are due by 4 p.m. so I will be available by 3:59 p.m. And then the links will close. I will take them off the website and I will close them. During the month of March, our community advisory and educational enrichment committees will be reviewing applications. I will be reaching out to organizations that are missing a budget sheet, that didn't, attach their cultural competency plan. And I'll make sure that everything is ready to go before our committee grant determination meetings at the end of March. I'll have the whole month of April to kind of coordinate with our legal services division to try and get contracts ready to go to send out to awarded organizations by May 1st. May 13th, the city's budget adoption hearing happens. We will have to get in, what are they called? Requests that are over $100,000 to mayor and city council prior to this, resolutions, for hopefully the cut of everybody's first check by July 1st of 2024.
Or shortly, probably realistically. They'll have to invoice, the
Yeah.
contract has to be ratified.
Right.
And then you send in the invoice, so it's probably more.
If all of our ducks were in a row and
Right.
we have all of this capacity to be able to do all this, hypothetically, July 1st would be our first day. Otherwise, you're sending in your invoices after contracts are signed and DocuSign is pushed through, and your program year may begin. Okay, so this is a very important slide. The part with the arrow kind of determines if you receive a grant award or not. Our committees are looking for budget documentation. They're looking for concise overview of clear goals and objectives. They're looking for proposal design and measurable outcomes. They're looking to want you to come and visit them. They're looking for those dates when they can come and view your programming. If your application has all of these, it has your clear budget, your overview, proposal design and measurements, hypothetically, you should be awarded a City of Gaithersburg FY25 grant award. What they're also looking for is partnership. Does your organization currently refer clients to our Financial Empowerment Center? Are you an active member of the Gaithersburg Coalition of Providers? Are you coming to our providers meetings? Does your youth organization help out at sports and youth services events? Are you going to our quarterly Youth Opportunities Coalition meetings? That's what our committee members want to see from organizations who would like to be awarded grant awards. Now, how does an organization keep a City of Gaithersburg grant award? I mean, communication is probably the biggest thing that we see with organizations who lose awards. We really don't want to hear if you can't get into a school for an entire semester. The first time we're hearing it is reading your report, not even getting, an email or a phone call prior to that. Does your organization have issues partnering with other community service organizations? Are you sending out your program flyers to our food partners? Are you sending out what your organization offers with medical services when you receive a community service award? Those are probably the two biggest issues that we do see. Reporting, are you sending in your reports with details, or are you just sending in your report with 2 sentences? Addresses, are your addresses organized? We're starting to really crack down. Committee members don't want to have to ask me questions and me not already have the answer. So this is probably a really important slide. When I send this back to everybody, I would review it and I would really kind of ask yourself, does my organization have good communication? Will my organization have the capacity to keep up on reporting addresses and invoices? And is my organization referring City of Gaithersburg residents to the Financial Empowerment Center. So do you have time to go to quarterly providers meetings? So really take a look at the slide, and please reach out if you have any questions.
Add a quick thing. Just wanted to reiterate on the reporting. It's critical not only to be accurate in your numbers and measurable outcomes, but the narrative section. City staff and then also the committee members, we read those narrative sections. They've been invaluable as far as us compiling information to feed back to city management on where the gaps in services are, what the special challenges are. So please pay attention to those, or be ready to pay attention to that reporting part. And thank you to all that have done an incredible job, especially with the narrative section. It's been very educational for us, and for the city in general.
Oh, and I did, when I was talking, it did remind me, everybody, if you're not signed up for the City of Gaithersburg Community Services newsletter, I will send that out to everyone, as well as I hope everybody received the link to register for our next providers training, which is at the end of January 31st. This is where all of our organizations, we tend to meet at the activity center. We give free lunch, and then we have some sort of training. And I'm so thankful to Leslie McDonald and her team at the Financial Empowerment Center, who will be promoting financial wellness at this event, and what your organization can do to help your clients get that financial freedom. So I will send out that link to our providers registration, as well as the link to our city newsletter.
Yeah, the general city newsletter.
The general city newsletter. Yep.
Would be good.
Okay, our budget form. This is our favorite. So we're going to go over the community services budget form, and then we will go over the youth prosperity budget form. I did want to stop share really fast. It didn't do it.
I didn't get everybody yet, but
Share this one. Oh, nope. Sorry, friends. We're going to do, you cannot. This one. All right, can everybody see this budget form? Okay, thank you. Make it a little bit smaller. Do 50, we'll do 60. Okay. Is this too small? Sorry. Okay, so for community service grants, like we said before, this is our collaboration grants. All of the personnel expenses for each organization will go in this category, will go in this column. So if you have 5 organizations, those 5 organization personnel expenses will go here. So this could expand, you can add your rows, and it could expand, 10 times this if you needed it to. This is the activity of the salaried expenses. This will be the amount you would request from the city. So say you're asking for $10,000, you're asking for $5,000 from the city. This other organization, this other funder funds $5,000 for a total of $10,000. So this would be for all personnel expenses for each of your organizations. Your fringe benefits cannot exceed 35% of your total. And then your operating expenses, even if you're only asking for expenses for personnel, we still want to know your operating expense for the program. Now, Maureen likes to use Manna as an example, Manna Food. So I'm just going to say Manna Food as well. I don't want the whole entire budget of Manna Food. That's not what I'm asking for. What I'm asking for is the total operating expense of Mana's program for the city of Gaithersburg, for
Yeah.
whatever program you're applying for.
That they're requesting city
That
funds
you're
to
requesting
contribute to.
city funds to, correct. So you would put your operating expenses here, your, what those cost. But then if, say you want to buy, gift cards for your operating expenses or gift cards, but you don't want to request that through the city, you don't have to put anything here, but I still want to know the cost that you have for those gift cards for this program.
And then notation of how you're supporting the gift cards.
And then, yes,
So it would go on other funds.
it would go in other funds, correct? Go here. And then when we go down here, these are examples of indirect costs, and those cannot exceed 15% of the total ask. Okay. Any financial contributors to the activity? Would you have there? Yes, you would
Right.
have there.
That would correspond to what you're putting in. What is it, column E?
Column E,
Yeah,
correct.
where other fundings come.
Okay. This can be tricky when you're filling it out. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask, because we'll jump right in and help you. Okay. All right. Any questions on the community service?
Yeah. How many folks do we have? Can you tell?
I'll be able to.
Oh, when you start screening.
Okay. So now we're going to move on to our youth budget sheet. I'm not going to click into the other one because this is a pretty good view of it. Again, you're asking for total non-city revenue, total program expense cost, again, just for the program. I'm not looking for, if you're a civics program and you're in 35 schools in the entire county, I don't need to know all of your 35 school budget. I just want to know, you're requesting for a civics program in 3 of our schools. That's the budget I want to know for. If you are applying for multiple schools, each school needs their own budget sheet. So maybe I should pull this up actually. Share. So each school will need their own budget sheet. So you would just copy and paste this into sheet 2. And it would go here. If you're doing a 3rd school, copy and paste it into here. And what would be nice is if you put the name of the school at the top or the bottom. All right. But that will go here, the total program expense. I don't want to know for your entire program. I just want to know what it costs to make this program work in the
At
city
that
of Gaithersburg,
particular school.
at that particular school. This will be your net amount needed, and then your amount requested from the city. These 2 numbers should basically be the same. And like this number cannot exceed this net amount number. And then if you could please put in any other funded sources. This is big for the committee. They want to see where you're getting your funding. And this would be for your whole program. Correct, Maureen?
No, because we want income. and
Oh.
We want revenue and expenses to equal out. So
Apologies.
it's other contributions towards a
Towards that
particular
particular program.
school program.
Any business contributions, in-kind contributions, and other revenues. And then down here would be your expenses, transportation, supplies, staffing. If you wanted to add anything else, feel free for what you're asking for. There will be a portion on the application for youth grantees to really kind of pinpoint where this money would go. And then your staffing would go down here.
Spelling out of that, yep.
Okay. Again, if you have any questions on this, please don't hesitate to reach out. this. Okay, next steps. Applications are available again next Wednesday, January 22nd at 10 a.m. Once you get started on the application, I highly recommend, this is through Form Site. Application will be available. Please make a username and password so that you can save your application and go back and forth to it if you can't complete it in one sitting. And you know, if you have any questions, you'll be able to stop, you know, email me, call me, reach out with any questions. If you're a new community service organization, really hone in on what scope of service would best fit your organization. Ensure you have access to the application. Please, every year I have organizations who email me 2 days before this is due. Please try and get an early start. Again, everybody's getting an extra 2 weeks. Both sets of grants ask for a lot of documentation. They're going to ask for at least 8 to 10 additional documents that you have to submit with your application. And that alone could take about an hour. So please make a username and password to be able to save your work and go back to it. I do not have access anymore to organizations' usernames and passwords. So if you forget your password, that's on you. You'll have to, you know, take on that responsibility going forward. If you skip a portion on your application, which you really won't be able to because I'm making everything a required box, I can't go in to your application and reopen it for you to make an edit. That doesn't exist anymore either. If you were desperate to make that edit on your application, you know, I could take a summary and I could attach it to the originally submitted application, but that's about the extent that I'm willing to go. Applications are reviewed in March, discussions in April, and then our grant announcements will be made in May of 2024. All right. Any questions? Mana, I see your hand.
As a subcontractor on the vocational one, we wouldn't go in and create something on the portal, correct? So how do we get the questions that we're going to need to put together for the prime?
Thank you for asking that question. That falls on your lead organization.
Is someone here from Catholic Charities or Interfaith today?
Interfaith, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You look like it.
They're not, and you see yours? 26, you can't see me. But that's a good point on the collaborative.
Yeah, so it would fall to your lead organization to get all that information collected. And how they want to do it, it's, you know, for me, it would just be, I would have you guys fill out basic questions in an email and I'd be able to copy and paste it into the application. But however they wanted to do it.
But they can copy the questions, right, and share it with the subcontractors, say this is what we need to answer.
Yes. You'll be able to do that. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions?
We'll share the PowerPoint too with everybody.
Oh, Miss Diane. Hi, Miss Diane. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. I was wondering, is March 1st still the date for the Youth Voice Summit? And is that not the same day as this application is due?
It is. It is the same day as the Youth Summit.
So will your availability on that day still be as open as you have suggested?
It will, because youth services really kind of took the reins from us last year with the Youth Voice event. So I'll be available. I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But she's available from this day forward. There's a lot of
Right.
Any other questions in the chat? I'm just going to look over this really fast.
Did we get everybody's name and organization in the chat?
Was everybody able to say hello? Thank you to all of our new organizations who are here. Divers to Deposits, I know you're new. Moco STEM, I know you're new. Thank you for coming. This is a very, I would say community services with the city of Gaithersburg is different from other funders in that we're very involved. I make it my job to network with organizations. I make it my job to meet face to face with principals and higher ups in the front offices of schools. We're here to help. We're here to ensure the success of your organization and to help as many city residents as possible. So please, if you need anything, I'm here. Maureen is here. Leslie, Geraldine, and Nancy are here from Community Services. So please reach out, and thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for being here. I did kind of want to, oh, Diane, you have one more question.
Just a quick one. I was looking at my calendar for today and you were mentioning your support of the grantees. Is there still a meeting today at 1 o'clock?
There is, yes. Thank you, Diane. So all of our new youth organizations, it will be a contract requirement that you participate with the Gaithersburg Youth Opportunities Coalition run out of Sports and Youth Services. We are having an in-person meeting today at 1 o'clock at the Activity Center. I would love to see everybody there. Maureen is actually going to step in for me and be there today. But that's another thing that, committee members are looking for. Does this organization support our Youth Opportunities Coalition? And if I don't see you there, that's something that I also have to communicate with our committee members. Yes, Miss Leah from Empowering the Ages. She took her hand down.
Will that also be over Zoom if we aren't able to make it today in person with the situation of the weather?
Oh, that's a good point.
We'll check on that with Mara, Leah, if she has a Zoom link on there. I know she did at the last meeting, but she was encouraging in person, but based on the weather.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Check with
No
her.
problem.
I have one question. Is there a tip, I don't know, like a dollar amount that is a range or no? Not really.
Like a max you could apply for?
Yeah. That's good. Like a max.
No,
Right, 'cause range would be 0 to.
no. Typically in the past, we haven't had any caps. Again, this comes down to having a very organized budget spreadsheet for those specific asks of what the program needs.
Right. Okay.
And final confirmations of the grant pipe come with the approval of the city budget. But as of now, we're operating pretty flat. So generally what we have in the pot right now is what's being proposed for FY25 to give you not as individual grantees, but the total pot. Unless something changes, but that's how we're operating right now.
That meeting for 1 p.m. today, is that for current grantees or potential grantees?
It's for both. If you run a youth organization and you want to be more involved in your community, you are more than welcome to attend.
And let us know too, if you want to get on that invite list. It's not going to be held against you if you don't come today, but once the grant award, but if you're interested in being on the ongoing invitation, let us know. So we can get that to Mara Dinwiddie, who coordinates the group.
I'll email Maura for you, Will, and do that introduction. I'll get you on that.
Great,
I
thank
think
you.
you are on the invite list actually already. Okay.
Will you send out the Zoom information for today if that's possible for today?
It'll probably come from Maura.
Okay.
We'll follow up with her after we're done here.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Again, thank you for all that you do. We really appreciate you. I'll send out the slides for this training, as well as that registration for our providers meeting at the end of the month. I would really hope, even if you decide today, you know what, this grant program isn't for us, please think about joining our coalition of providers. They're wonderful, wonderful meetings. If anything, it's just a great way to network and get information out about your organizations, as well as getting information from other organizations. So, and then we'll double check about the GYOC meeting today.
And I just wanted to throw in here a special thanks to Mary. Incredible work. I'm so proud to have her on the staff of community service. A huge asset to the city of Gaithersburg. Please, like she said, reach out to her. She's very knowledgeable, very collaborative, very welcoming. If you have ideas or changes or criticisms or things that she can assist with. So we're very blessed to have her coordinating. In my opinion, she's the best grant coordinator in the whole county. So we're really, really happy. I also wanted to do a shout out to Eric Perla and our legal team. It's unbelievable amount of hours and support they give us to get these many contracts developed. And Eric and Mary have already started the process for FY25. So thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Mary, for all the hard work you guys do.
Thank you, Eric. And as a last thought, I will be with you all through the grant process, but will be reinventing my life, I call it, not retirement. I don't like that word. So I'll be here through the very beginning of May. I'll have plenty of time to talk to everybody, but I did want to again reiterate my thanks for so many years of ongoing partnership. Again, the city couldn't do it without you all. So thank you, and thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Maureen. All right, friends, everybody have a great day, great week. Go play in the snow.
Thank you. No, Maureen.
I know. It's so sad.
Can we get that list, do you think, of who was here? I started